You know, last year I thought the NBA playoffs were without a doubt the most exciting that I had seen probably in over a decade. I mean, you had compelling series from start to finish. You had some phenomenal individual performances along the way. This year, 4 days into the NBA postseason, I don't know what to make of it. It's interesting, that I'll say. Definitely interesting, definitely different. I mean, you see guys going down on the first day with season ending knee injuries. You see guys getting ejected for the most ridiculous of reasons. You read about a player deciding to take out his frustration and playing his most aggressive ball by KOing a glass enclosure for a fire extinguisher. But perhaps the most memorable thing here in the first 4 days of the postseason has been the way teams have just totally and utterly collapsed against the odds makers. What, did everybody take a page out of the Memphis Grizzlies book from the other night when they blew that 19-point fourth quarter lead and 25-point lead overall and lost outright in game number one at home to the LA Clippers? I mean, my goodness, what is going on here last night? You know, yesterday, guys, I had a 15-dime teaser play. Which matches the highest rated play of my career in the NBA, a play that I'm now still, despite losing last night, and I'll get to that in a second, still 30 and 15 with over the past 3 seasons after also winning with the Mavericks cover at Oklahoma City on Monday night. Well, last night I had a teaser because I was a little concerned with both chalks that I used in the teaser, the Hawks and the Lakers. Well, you saw the Lakers blow a 19-point third quarter lead and not get the cover as a 5.5-point straight-up home favorite, winning by just 4 against Denver. So the teaser absolutely was the way to go. And I thought it was the way to go with the Atlanta Hawks as well. There were the Celtics, minus Ray Allen, minus Rondo. What happened? Hawks up 11 points playing at home in the third quarter, and they lose the game outright. I mean, it has been an interesting postseason so far. So, yes, the NBA teaser did lose last night, but how many times have I told you this, guys? You cannot play scared in this business. Absolutely cannot. You need short-term memory deficit. You have to put aside last night or last week's losses, because if you do not, if you fail to do so, and so many handicappers in this business do, and I know a lot of you guys as gamblers do as well, if you fail to do so, you miss the next money-making opportunity that comes down the pike. Case in point, guys, I went 7-1 with those highest rated 15-dime plays in the month of April. 7-1. I lost last night, but FYI, after the last four 15, or I should say, the last four 15-dime winners, including Mondays, with Dallas getting the cover at Oklahoma City, they were preceded by a losing day. So I followed up the last 4 losing days with those 15-dime winners. And guys, that's what I'm going to do again tonight. Listen, I'm going to break down all of your NBA games this evening and give you my thoughts on them, but it's not in the NBA where you're going to make money this evening. I feel the best bet is once again in baseball, guys. And I've got another 15-dime play, which once again matches the highest rated play of my career in baseball. So far this season, 4-1 with these 15-dime releases. The most recent one being the Atlanta Braves as a $1.25 home dog on the run line in a 6-1 victory over Pittsburgh last Friday night. Same 15-dime plays I'm 31 and 15 with in the NBA. Over the past 3 years, the same plays in the NFL that I am 47 and 32 with over the past 4 years. That is the best bet. And again, 7-1 with those plays in the month of April, including 4-1 so far this baseball season. That is my best bet on the board. Now, also going this evening, let me just point out that Scott Delaney, who last night had a 15-dime play on the Nuggets, has a play 5 dimes stronger this evening. His 75-dime opening round game of the year on Indiana and Orlando, just as strong as a 75-dime winner on the Minnesota Twins, taking care of business against Kansas City, I believe it was, on Sunday. Also, Jeff Benton, 60-dime playoff winner, number 5 out of 6 on the Pacers and the Magic. Again, these are playoff releases going back to the 2010 playoffs, in fact, 2011, 2010, 2011 playoff season. 60-dime playoff winner, number 5 of 6 on the Pacers and Magic's Jeff on a 55 and 35 run with 20-dime plays, and this, of course, is 3 times stronger. Now, something also to go back to yesterday about, of course, Craig Davis was the charity play of the week. And I mean, after I'd lost my teaser, because the Hawks were earlier than the Lakers. I'm sitting there pulling the Lakers, trying to pull the Lakers in, as we like to say. Up 19 points in the third quarter, and I'm thinking, we got the charity play in the bag. I'll tell you, sometimes, guys, fates definitely conspires against you, and that was the case last night. Craig loses that play, which was, I think, like 50-dime winner number 10 out of 12, or 12 out of 15 for him. And, of course, it lost us the charity play as well. I'm going to get to your money-saving discount coupon code here. Well, hell, I'll give it to you right now, guys. It'll save you $25 off a single purchase today. $25 off a single purchase, and it is something apropos. Collapse 25. Collapse 25. In honor of all these teams that can't protect leads and covers. Collapse 25. COLLAPSE and the number 25. Again, COLLAPSE and the number 25. Smush it all together. No space between the word collapse and the number 25. And that'll get you $25 off a single purchase today. You don't have to use it for my plays. You can use it for anybody's plays on the board. The one game I didn't touch about last night, or touch on last night, was the Philadelphia-Chicago game. Very interesting game, okay? So the Bulls lose Derrick Rose. Granted, big loss. But it's not like they didn't play without him this season. Numerous times. They played almost one half of this strike-shortened season without Derrick Rose this year. However, the reason the Sixers won, if you look at the box score last night, a Bulls team that out-rebounded every other team in the NBA this year by an average of 8 boards a game, got out-rebounded last night by 9. Now, they had 11 more rebounds in game number 1 than the Sixers. They averaged 8 more rebounds per game on the entire season than their opponents, okay? And that was the number 1 figure in the league. And last night, a 76ers team that was starting Spencer Hawes at center with Lavoy Allen, a 6'9 rookie, manning the pivot in place of Hawes when he took a seat on the bench, out-rebounded the Bulls on their home floor in Chicago by 9, and that's why they lost the game. Sure, it also didn't help that a team that was among the top 3 defensively in the league this year allowed a 76ers team that basically for most of the second half of the strike-shortened season had problems scoring 100 points in a game to put up 109 on their home floor at the United Center. Just an embarrassing defensive effort by Chicago last night. And as far as the Atlanta-Boston game goes, in reality, you say, okay, Boston won that game, but in reality, Atlanta lost. I pointed out a couple weeks ago here on the video report that I had been reluctant all season long to use the Hawks because they were one of those teams that I never really could get my finger on, okay, in terms of the pulse of that team. And consequently, that's one of the reasons that I put them in a teaser last night. Yet I thought, obviously, minus Rondo, minus Ray Allen, after taking care of business, playing horrifically in the final 3 quarters of the Game 1 game against the Celtics, they would be able to at least win the game straight up last night. Up 11 in the third quarter, and they couldn't even do that. The Hawks just don't have it. I mean, this is a team that doesn't have the mental edge. This is a team that just can't win when it must. I'm not saying they're choke artists, but, the makeup of the Hawks, look at this team over the past decade. That's why they just don't do anything. And they just don't have the type of personnel to carry them over the bump. They don't have a Dirk Nowitzki type. They don't have a Kevin Garnett guy type. And my God, has Garnett been playing out of his mind the second half of this season. Another big performance, playing at the center spot, out of position, again last night for the Celtics. Now, let's get to tonight's games. Utah and San Antonio. You had a San Antonio team that was up by 7 points after the first half of their Game 1 contest against the Utah Jazz, then managed to pull away with a late third quarter drive to eventually cover the 11-point number, now laying 11.5 points at home, where they, won 11 or 12 straight games overall. Would I take Utah and San Antonio tonight? Absolutely not. Would I lean toward taking the Spurs in the first half? Maybe, but I don't think that's a game that necessarily you want to get involved with tonight. I do think there's some perhaps interest in taking the game to go over the total of 203, but all in all, not of the 3 games tonight, one that I have any interest in whatsoever. Now, Indiana and Orlando. Listen, the Pacers forgot to play defense, and they allowed the Magic to rain down 3-pointers in game number 1. In game number 2, they remembered to play defense, and Orlando shot just a shade under 36% for the contest in that game. Now you've got Indiana going on the road as a 3-point favorite. I think this is a series that presents matchup problems for the Pacers. Sure, Dwight Howard is out, and with Howard, the Magic won 3 of the regular season 4 matchups during the regular season. But, now with Big baby Glenn Davis manning the middle, and with Ryan Anderson launching threes from anywhere on the field court, it gives the Pacers some defensive problems. It takes Roy Hibbert out of the game. And listen, the Pacers need Hibbert controlling down low in order to prevail in this series. Wouldn't surprise me tonight if the Magic win this game outright as the 3-point home dog. Finally, we go to the LA Clippers Memphis Grizzlies game. Talked about them earlier in the report. You know what happened in game number 1 for the Grizzlies. But let's not forget the fact that for 3 quarters, they absolutely dominated the Clippers. Now, why Memphis forgot to go down low and get the ball to Marc Gasol, who didn't take a shot and didn't make any bucket after late in the third quarter in that game, is beyond me. But I think Memphis tonight comes out, puts the hammer down, takes care of business against this Clippers team. Did Chris Paul have just a phenomenal game of the ages, a Willis Reed type inspired performance in game number 1? Absolutely. But he's still not 100% healthy. He's still bothered by that nagging groin pull hamstring injury. And I think Memphis tonight is worth taking a shot, especially in the first half. Now, for the game, the Grizzlies right now are a 6.5-point favorite, but I like them here in the first half where they're laying 4 to 4.5 to really come out, play aggressively, put the hammer down, and to take care of business. Now, those are my thoughts on the NBA, but my free pick tonight, guys, listen, I'm going to go with the Phillies, minus $1.15 at Atlanta. Went against Philadelphia last night, and they surprised me. A team that couldn't score actually managed to squeak out a couple of runs in the 8th inning and take the opener of the series 4-2. That after a 6-0 sweep against the Braves last September that put a nail in the Braves' postseason coffin. Atlanta right now having problems putting runs on the board, just like Philadelphia, and making it even a more complicated matter for the Braves. Jason Hayward's missed 2 straight games, probably not going to play again tonight. Chipper Jones missed his 12th game of the season last night. He's iffy for this evening as well. Roy Halladay, victimized by a lack of run support. They've scored just 2 runs in his last 2 starts, but so far this season, 3-2 with an earned run average of 1.95, and opposing batters are hitting just 188 against them. 4-1 in 7 lifetime appearances, 6 of them starts against the Braves, with a 1.78 earned run average. The Phillies have won 3 straight games on the road. And when are you going to get the chance to take Roy Halladay at minus $1.15 that often in baseball? That'll do it for your free picks and your report today. Remember, Collapse 25 will save you $25 off a single purchase today. Good luck, guys, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.